Hello everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of the NFL Draft Preview. I'm your host, Donte Bond, and I'm here with my best friend, my partner in crime, Mr. Braxton Sal.
Good morning, everybody.
All right, now today we're talking about the NFL Draft. Now the NFL Draft is in 4 months away. It's April 28th through the 30th. And so we have a list of who we feel is going to be picked in the draft, and we also kind of like talk about the teams that need these picks. So Braxton, why don't you start us off?
Alrighty, so first of all, we're going to talk about wide receivers. You know, wide receivers have improved in the league. They're like without the wide receivers, that's where the action in the NFL comes from. So, you know, my first pick for the wide receivers would have to be D.D. Westbrook from Oklahoma. You got to give it to this guy. He's got breakaway speed, and like in the NFL, you know, if you can get past those cornerbacks, you know, you're going to be electric, right?
Yeah.
You know, he's able to finish off his catches, you know. He gets the ball, catches it, and finishes it off strong. He's a downfield threat, and, you know, I think if he gets drafted to Green Bay, that downfield threat that Aaron Rodgers like to throw, he'll be a great pick for Aaron Rodgers.
What D.D. Westbrook reminds me of Deshaun Jackson. Remember how Deshaun Jackson first came out, and then when we seen this dude get drafted by the Eagles and his first play was an NFL touchdown, we looked at him like, oh man, he's going to be a threat for years. The only thing that I have to say that D.D. might have to work when he comes into the NFL is his athleticism. Now, judging from the highlights that we've seen from him, he hasn't really shown a whole lot of athleticism that we've seen, because most of the time he's either running downfield and he's always that number one threat down the field. Now, the other thing is he big enough to fight off the corners? In my opinion, he's not really big enough to fight off the corners. He's more like a one-dimensional person. I more see him as a slot wide receiver rather than a downfield threat, because he doesn't have that size to fight off the corners and then press to get the ball from the air. So I really have him projected to go either late first round or early second round. But I guarantee you he's going to make a step into this league. Now, the next person that we have is Corey Davis. And people, when I tell you this man is the real deal, this dude is the real deal. It may say Western Michigan. He may not come from a Division I school, but I reassure you, this guy is first round talent. He's strong, physical, can go get the ball, breakaway speed, explosive. I'm talking about perfect, great hands, can fight off defenders. But with every pro comes with a con. Braxton, can you explain them to me?
Man, you know, I think you can almost compare this guy to like the legendary Dez Bryant from Dallas Cowboys. And like you said, if he's physical, he blows off the ball, he has great hands. You know, that's Dez Bryant in the making, you know. He can play for a group of 5. He can fight off good coverage. And, you know, it's like a lot of good DBs out there. Like, if you can fight Richard Sherman off, you can pretty much fight any DB that's in the league.
We'll keep watch on Corey Davis and see where he gets picked up next. I suggest maybe the Tennessee Titans, because they do need that big downfield threat.
They do.
Now, next on the list, we have John Ross from Washington, and this dude is a baller. I've watched some of his games this year, and what I've seen from many of his games, this dude is a real deal. Like, he helped that offense, and I can see why they were the number 4 team in the country and they got into the college football playoff. The reason why is he's a great route runner. He can run routes, he can sell posts, he can run the post, run the street. Another thing is he has good ball awareness. He always knows where the ball is. And he's a punt return and kick return specialist. And he's like the speed type of guy, like the speed guy that you need from the back. Like, he has good yards at the catch. You can mostly put him in slot. You can put him in the downfield threat. And he got the size and the speed for it too. Now, I compare him to a Washington Redskins wide receiver named Jamison Crowder. Now, Jamison Crowder, he wasn't really drafted real high, but he's became a big asset to Kirk Cousins and the Washington Redskins offense, as he made a statement in the last 2 years with Kirk Cousins being as the starting quarterback. And I just see him as being a great guy. His cons are he's he's big, but he's not like a big wide receiver type guy. Sometimes when he's in the punt return, kick return game, he can improvise too much. And ball security, he really has to work on that, especially in the NFL. But Braxton, we're going to move on. And today we're going to talk about running backs.
All righty. So to kick off the running backs, you got Christian McCaffrey from Stanford. Now, we all know Stanford may not be the best school in the bunch, but, you know, everybody has that one player that's like the goat around the campus, and this guy is the big man on campus. He can catch it from the backfield. He's an explosive runner.
Oh, don't forget, he was a runner-up for the Heisman last year. He broke Barry Sanders' single-season all-purpose yard.
You're right. And, you know, you need to be an explosive back in this league because, you know, nowadays the offensive line is starting to slack. DBs are slimming up, and they're, like, ruining careers. If you can explode and get through the secondary, you'll have great success through the NFL.
It seems like he always has a nose for the end zone, too. He has excellent footwork. I mean, this dude can make cuts in places where most people can't really make cuts. But the one thing about it is ever since his year this year, his junior year, it wasn't really a lackluster year that everybody hoped for him to have because his team wasn't really good. He didn't have the weapons that he had last year. Now, another thing is, which makes me wonder why he's a one-hit wonder, another thing is, does he have power? Does he have the power to bust off tacklers? Is he just a one-dimensional back? Can he just kick it to the outside and outrun guys? Or can he just plow through NFL defenses? And can he really handle the speed of the NFL? Can he catch up to where people are now? The other thing is he kind of hurt his draft stock by skipping a bowl game to avoid injury, and I can see why they did that because he's more of a special type of guy.
The kid was thinking smart. You know, sometimes you have to do that. You know, you have to think smart about these decisions.
The thing he reminds me of mostly is when Barry Sanders, his Heisman Trophy year. Do you remember that year? That year, Barry Sanders was the talk of the town. I mean,
Barry Sanders is still one of the greatest running backs of all time. You just can't tell me
this dude was amazing. Like even in the NFL, he made moves in the NFL, but not a whole lot of teams need running backs, but some do need running backs. I haven't projected going late first round, but hey, maybe one of those top 5 teams. I don't know, maybe in Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville could use a running back if you ask me.
Maybe
you know, Jacksonville could use a bit of everything right now.
That's true.
And Cleveland, you know.
Now, this guy, I'm really excited to talk about. Leonard Fournette.
Ah, boo, get out of here.
Oh, come on, man. Do you need me to run it down for you? I got you here. This dude is strong, powerful. Did you see those 2 runs that he did 2 years ago against Auburn? That dude literally ran over people, and dude was carrying off of him.
Leonard Fournette is overrated. Let me tell you that now. He's an overrated LSU player. But, you know, you can keep going with whatever he's good at.
Bro, you got to think about it, man. He can break tackles in the open field. He's speedy. 6'1", 230. Are you serious? We never seen a running back that caliber. Seriously, this dude is if you need a power back or a speedy power back, this is the guy that you need. He really reminds me of DeMarco Murray. You know how DeMarco Murray, he had that great season in 2014, and then he had that down year in Philadelphia, and then he came to Tennessee and had an amazing year, finished third in...
Second.
Oh, he finished second. I'm sorry, folks. He finished second in rushing, only behind Ezekiel Elliott. But I'm saying this dude is the real deal, and he will have a future in the NFL. But mostly, that's the offense for the 2017 NFL Draft. What are your thoughts about this offensive draft class that we have right now?
I think this offensive draft class may be one of the most physical, mental, great, picks. These are excellent young men. They all have their head on straight. And that's what I like about, these young people. they have their head on straight, you know. Back in like the early 2000s, you know, you had some players that was coming in with the baddest men on campus, but got hooked on drugs and like, you know, all that women
That can
stuff.
happen, man.
And you know,
Life
I
in
just
the
think
NFL.
these are like a good group of men. Like, you know, the last class was a decent, good class. Wasn't Marcus Mariota, wasn't he drafted last year?
He was drafted like a year
before? Okay. I mean, you know, that was a great class. You know, you had the best quarterback versus the other best quarterback. Heisman against the first pick. You know, you got a smart class. And I think I can't wait to see what these young people can do.
I feel like this draft class is by far one of the most fundamentally sound and versatile draft classes. There's so many things that this draft class, just from the offense, can do.
Right. We haven't
But
even talked about
the defense, oh man, that's another thing on its own. But like with the offense, I feel that they would have great careers. I see a couple of them having some amazing careers. So that's been the NFL Draft Preview brought to you by Pearl-Cohn High School. Now, we're about to sign off, and be sure to check us out. You don't understand what might happen, and you don't know what happens. So, from PCTV News, I am Donte Bond.
And I'm Barton South.
And we'll catch you on the flip side.